So he's engineered this move. He's wanted this, right? This is his. I'm leaving United. I need a new challenge. I'm going somewhere else. I'm doing something different. He's come out and said this. No one else has said this. He said it to his personal PA Henry Winter, and so he's now got a move. Is this make or break for his career?
Of course, because he still has England playing for England dreams, right? And it's not a signed, sealed, permanent deal, right? It's just a loan move, so he still needs to sell himself. Now, what I'll say is this: is we knew there was a move happening. The club doesn't want him.
Give away his number 10 shirt to Kuna.
Right? That which is a big slap in the face. So yes, it was basically up to his team to find a club, right? The problem is once the fact that I think Barcelona left the door open enough for his agent to get this deal done. So yes, they did orchestrate making sure that that's where he went, but I don't think he had any other real option.
I don't think he wanted anywhere else. I think this is the move he wanted, and I think
and that's ego.
Well?
That's ego, right? He feels he's still of that level of player, and you know what? Let's see what you have. Like when he went to Villa last year, he had moments where people can say, there's something there, but he hasn't. And in the past 3 years, he hasn't been consistent. What we can say, he's consistently been inconsistent and unreliable, especially the past 2 seasons, right? So it's a big gamble when you're a team like Barcelona, who just finished winning La Liga. You're trying to defend your title. Is this necessarily strengthening your team? I don't know. I don't see him as a starter. He's coming off the bench on that squad. And where does he really fit with Barcelona in the front formation, right?
Yeah. Who is in front of him? I played for Leeds. You know who I mean? My brain's gone to mush. I just, it's a relatively low risk from him, because at the end of the day, if he's not starting, he's on the backup and he comes off and makes a couple of good games. Don't get me wrong, it's La Liga, right? Like, really, there's about 4 games a year where, as Jose Mourinho once said, that you have to really kind of try for. I think against some teams in La Liga, he's actually going to torch them. And then it's not a bad league for him to be in, because he's quick, he's got pace, he's still got the ability. Maybe he finds the love of the game, because I think that's generally what's missing in his life, the love of the game. I think that's what's kind of gone out of him. And maybe this is the right move, but he just needs to be out of United permanently, and I think United needs to move on. I think from United's standpoint, they look like they've moved on. And at the end of the day, you're not going to get the money you once were going to get for him. So at the end of the day, if they're going to take him on, I think it's not a bad move. It's relatively low risk. I think, though, if this doesn't work, he is going to end up either MLS, somewhere like that, Turkey, because at the end of the day, like Jose Mourinho was in for him, was the only other one that was kind of mentioned to give him a way out of United. So I think this is his move. Now he's got to put up or shut up, right? That's generally what it is. And again, I think even if he's above average, knowing Thomas Tuchel is still go to the World Cup. If he plays half the games for Barcelona, I think he'll still end up there, because that's Thomas Tuchel. And that's what he wants.
All he needs to do is have a half decent season, and he will be in the running. Just the reality of Tuchel still sees something in him, and maybe he can go to Spain, and maybe being away from England will be the best thing from him, not having to deal with the media, and will just be able to play. And
Absolutely.
This could be the best thing for his career. And I think sometimes that's for certain players, sometimes leaving basically the only place you've known sometimes is the better thing. You've outgrown where you are. But it's not wrong. Like, we see that all the time, where players just finally are able to play a lot more. Like, there's just not that pressure, right?
Yeah,
and Marcus Rashford,
the resurrection part of it, like for his career, absolutely. I think you're 100% right. That there's a lot less pressure in other countries than there is in England with every track, every footstep is monitored where you're in on and off.
And especially with him, with how things have gone with Man United, every move he made was in the spotlight, on and off the pitch. So it just became to a point where I think this is the best thing for his career, where he's away from England.
Absolutely. So it's a good move. I think I thought he would have gone to Bayern, because I thought that would have been a no-brainer. Go and pick up a few trophies, play with Harry Kane, get in the England squad.
Bayern wants Diaz.
I know.
They want Diaz back. And I will not be surprised if that deal gets done this coming week, because I still think Bayern's going to come in with a higher bid and Liverpool will sell. Like, it just sounds like that is going to happen. It's just they're going back and forth.
It will be interesting to see what United do. Obviously, this is not a sale, so but they've still got some players to unload, right? So Jadon Sancho's there.
Garnacho.
Garnacho wants to stay in the Premier League, so that looks like a Chelsea special written all over it. And obviously Anthony, teams in Spain looking at him.
Well, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but are Forrest
in for Jadon Sancho? Yes.
Yeah, is that? Subscribe, leave comments, and again, smash that like button.